Hola a todos, bienvenidos otra vez al canal. Soy yo, profesora Vanessa, y en este video voy a repasar el examen del 2022. Okay, so in this paper, you have questions that were repeated, similarly to the other ones that we've covered on this channel. So I'm just gonna try to breeze through the paper, give you the listening aspect of it, which is part A, and then go through the reading comprehension section of the paper. So students, remember that for the first 30 items, your examiner or your teacher will be reading the sections for you, so you have to ensure that you are listening keenly to what is being said. And even though the questions sometimes are repeated and you feel that you know the vocabulary and even the actual answers, so you know that, if I hear this sentence, that means I'm going to select A. Remember, sometimes the images or the words may be switched around, so it's best for you to understand the vocabulary that is being used and also the synonyms that you are seeing on these past papers for paper 1. Right, so I'll go through the sections with you for this paper carefully, and let's see how quickly I can get through this one since it's going up so late. All right, so for part A, remember this is your picture section, and for sections 1, 2, and 3 of part A, the listening comprehension, you have 15 seconds to answer or make your choice between each of them, each of the questions being read by your teacher. So for part A, you have the 8 questions, and you will hear the sentences once, and then you select your choice. All right, so this one is very familiar. This one is very familiar, and I hear persons shouting out the answers already. So question number 1. El padre le corta el pelo a su hijo. If you said D, then you are correct. So the father cuts his son's hair. Can't be B, even though it's showing the person doing something to the son hair wise. This would be brushing one's hair, which would be cepillarse el pelo, right? So D should be your choice. And remember, you are listening for keywords or key phrases for the listening portion. You're not going to understand or hear everything. You're just listening for the key phrases. Question number 2. La mujer está colgando la ropa. If you selected B, then you are correct. This is also a repeated one. The woman is hanging out the clothes, colgar la ropa, to hang out or hang up clothing. Right, so you would have heard la ropa, and you could have thought about choosing A or even D, but the operative or the main verb would be colgar, to hang or hang up something. So in D, you have lavar la ropa, so that can't work. And then in A, you could say that the person is knitting, tejer, or even coser, to sew. So those can't be the choices. And this person is skipping, saltar a la cuerda, so that can't be the option to choose. So B, colgar la ropa. All right, number 3 says, navegan por la red buscando información. All right, that one would be C, right? If you are familiar with the verb navegar por la red, you would understand immediately which image to choose, right? So navegar por la red or navegar por internet would be to surf the web, right? All of that means to surf the web. And then we have buscando información, searching for information. So B could be that they're reading to find out information. So you'd have to know the verb navegar por la red, to surf the internet, to get this one. Can't be A and B as those two have nothing to do with the sentence being read. Number 4, this one is repeated quite a lot too. La nevera está abierta. Alright, so D would be the correct choice for you to select. La nevera. La nevera. La nevera would be fridge or refrigerator. And then they're talking about the state or the condition that it's in. It's opened. Abierta, from the verb abrir. Right? So you would have to know those two words in order to get that one correct. If you heard closed, you would hear cerrada. Alright, number 5 now. Number 5, oh, I skipped it. Number 5 is trying to be elusive. Alright, number 5. La mujer es modista. Alright, so they're testing your knowledge of professions in this one. You can't really go on much in this one except for knowing what the word modista means. Right? So if you don't know that word, then you're gonna be out of luck for this question. So modista means dressmaker. So you would have to select option C. The others could not be, the choice to for this question. A, this person is a peluquera, so a hairdresser, different from a dressmaker, right? B would be a singer, so cantante. D seems to be like an architect or an engineer. So those ones wouldn't be it, or wouldn't be the option. So C, modista, dressmaker, for this option or for this question. Alright, number 6 now. Number 6. Les gusta oír el cuento. If you have not selected B for this question, I will reach through the screen and pinch you. You should know this one as well. Les gusta oír el cuento. They like to listen to the story, or they like to hear the story. Right? So B is the best one that depicts what that sentence is saying. It can be D. They're reading from a menu. And it seems that they're in a restaurant. A, the kids are playing with some blocks, jugando con bloques. And C, it seems as if they're in a classroom being, lectured by a teacher, right? So you would have to know oír, which is to listen, and then the word cuento, which could be story. Right? So that's B. Number 7. Question number 7. El niño empuja el juguete. Alright, so juguete. Two pictures would show things that are juguetes, toys, and that would be C and D, right? But the answer, the option you need to choose would be C. The boy or the child pushes the toy, right? So he pushes the toy. It can't be B because he's pulling the trolley, which is tirar la carretilla. So it can't be B. And D, he seems to also have some blocks, as if he's stacking up some blocks. So that wouldn't be the correct option as well. So C, empuja el juguete. So again, you have to listen for the key words or phrases to jump out at you. Alright, question number 8. Alright, question number 8 says, los jóvenes se divierten jugando a los naipes. Alright, so for this one, you would have to choose B. Jugando a los naipes, or jugar a los naipes, means to play cards, right? So B would have to be the correct option here. So if you didn't know that phrase or that word, then you would be lost, because most of the pictures, or all of the pictures rather, are showing children playing. So it would have to come down to you knowing los naipes, which are cards. A is showing them playing los instrumentos, jugar a los instrumentos. In C, it seems as if they're playing, that's not chess, they're playing checkers, un juego de damas. And in D, they're playing with dolls, las muñecas. So B, again, cards would be los naipes. Alright, and that completes section 1 of this paper. So for section 2 now, let's move down to section 2. You have 8 questions again, but for this section, let me see if I can go up to this instruction. For this section, you will hear the first part of it twice. So your teacher is going to read the statement twice, and then it will be followed by a question or an incomplete statement. Alright, so the good thing is you're gonna be hearing it twice. So if you miss something the first time, try and catch whatever it is in the second listen, and then you listen for the question. Pretty straightforward and easy, I want to say. Just listen keenly in the exam. Alright, so for section 2, some of them you would have already been familiar with. It says here for question number 9, qué cansado estoy. He trabajado todo el día. Qué cansado estoy. He trabajado todo el día. ¿Qué quiere hacer esta persona? So they're asking, what does this person want to do? The person said, qué cansado estoy. I'm so tired, or how tired I am, literally. I've worked every day. He trabajado todo el día, or I've worked all day. So it can't be that they're dancing. They don't want to dance if they're saying they're tired. They don't want to eat, and they certainly don't want to trabajar, work. So the answer here has to be descansar. Descansar means to rest. Number 10. ¿Cuánto cuesta esta cadena de oro? ¿Cuánto cuesta esta cadena de oro? Esta persona está en una joyería, frutería, zapatería, carnicería. So all of them have that area ending. Remember the suffix area means that, you know, it's a place, it's a shopping place or a store. So you would have to know what the person was asking the price of. So cuánto cuesta means how much does something cost, and they're asking for una cadena de oro. So that would be a gold chain. They're asking for a gold chain. You're not gonna find that in a carniceria, which is a butcher store or at the butchers. Zapateria is a shoe store, and fruteria would be a fruit store. So it wouldn't be any of these three. So it has to be joyeria, which is a jewelry store, right? Number 11 says, Señor, no tengo mis deberes hoy. Señor, no tengo mis deberes hoy. ¿Dónde está la persona que habla? We know this one because it has been repeated quite a few times. So, ¿dónde está la persona que habla? So, where is the person that is speaking? If they say, sir, and you hear deberes, that means that they have to be en la escuela. They are at school. Alright? No other option. So it can't be at the bookstore, at the hospital, or at the park. You hear sir and you hear deberes, it's at school. You could also hear the synonym en el colegio. Right? Remember, colegio also means school. Alright, number 12 says, ¡Qué lástima! He sacado malas notas en mis exámenes. ¡Qué lástima! He sacado malas notas en mis exámenes. ¿Cómo se siente esta persona? From your ear, que lástima, that's not anything good, right? Remember, que lástima means what a pity. So it has to be something bad. So immediately, once you hear que lástima, B cannot be an option. Because B mean happy. So you're left with trabajadora, cansada, and triste. What else did the person say? He sacado malas notas. So, sacar malas notas means to get bad grades. So, the person has gotten bad grades in their exámenes, in their exams. So, trabajadora eliminated. So, they cannot be hardworking. So, you have cansada and triste. Students tend to confuse these two words a lot. So it makes sense why Sexy has put both of them here. So cansada would be tired and triste would be sad. So your option here is to select D, triste. The person feels sad. Right? So number 12, D. Question number 13. La chica tiene que guardar cama. La chica tiene que guardar cama. ¿Cómo está? I hope you're all selecting the answers before I give them so that you can see if you're on par with what's being given. All right, so number 13, if you selected enferma, muy bien, excelente. So enferma would be the response because the statement is la chica tiene que guardar cama. So they're talking about a girl, of course, and tener que, she has to do something, which is guardar cama. Guardar cama means to stay in bed. So if you have to stay in bed and then they're asking ¿Cómo está? How is she doing or how is she feeling? It can't be that she's feliz, happy. It can't be traviesa, naughty, or simpática, kind or nice. No, it has to be enferma. She's sick because she has to stay in bed. Number 14, a sus órdenes, señores, ¿en qué puedo servirles? A sus órdenes, señores, ¿en qué puedo servirles? ¿Dónde están estas personas? Alright, so you have the option en la calle, en una casa, en el campo, en una tienda. What did you choose? If you chose D for your answer, en una tienda, bien hecho, well done. Right? So they are in a shop or in a store. Right? Whenever you hear a sus órdenes, that means that's a greeting that shopkeepers usually say to persons when they enter stores, and then they're asking ¿En qué puedo servirles? How can I help you? How can I help you? So it's not that they're in the street or in a house or in the countryside or on a field. Maybe they are in a store, tienda, right, based on what is being said. Number 15 says Lo siento, María. Espero que pronto todo esté bien, le dijo Ángela. Lo siento, María. Espero que pronto todo esté bien, le dijo Ángela. ¿Qué ha oído, Ángela? So, what has Angela heard? ¿Qué ha oído? ¿Qué ha oído, Ángela? What has she heard? Datos nuevos, malas noticias, buenas noticias, or cuentos interesantes. If you hear lo siento, Maria, I am sorry, and then you're going to hear the subjunctive phrase, espero que, I hope that's something, yeah, it can't be that she's going to hear an interesting story. She don't hear the story already, so she give her thoughts. No, it can't be that she's gonna hear buenas noticias. That's good news, right? And it can't be that she's gonna hear anything new, so it can't be dato nuevo either, right? A new date. So malas noticias would be your answer here. She has heard some bad news for her to be apologetic and also wish for something good to happen soon, pronto. And the last one in the section, question number 16, el aceite está bastante caliente para freír el pescado. El aceite está bastante caliente para freír el pescado. ¿Qué va a hacer esta persona? So what is the person going to do? ¿Qué va a hacer esta persona? What is the person going to do? Are they going to vender, pescar, cocinar o estudiar? Alright, so let's see what the sentence is saying, because it was a mouthful. El a siete. So for this one, if you don't know most of the words, you're gonna be lost in the sauce. El aceite would be oil. Está bastante caliente is hot enough. The oil is hot enough para freír, to fry el pescado, to fry the fish. So they're not gonna be selling anything. They're not going to be fishing, and they're not gonna be studying. So they're preparing to cook, cocinar. And that concludes section 2. So most of these you would have been familiar with, and I think a few of them were switched around. So you have to be careful of that in the exam again. Alright, so section 3, this is where the gloom and the dread usually takes students in the exam, because you get tight about the announcements. But relax, close your eyes and try to block out any visual distractions and tune your ears to listen. So for section 3 of part A, you have 2 selections that will be read. So now your teacher has to read at their natural pace on the first listen, and then they have to slow it down for you to hear. Right, so you're gonna be hearing the selections twice, and then you're gonna get the 3 questions for each selection afterwards. Right, so just listen carefully. So the 2 that were featured on the 2022 paper are ones that you have heard. There weren't any new ones, so this should be a breeze for you. All right. So, the first one says, Buenos días, señores pasajeros. La línea sur anuncia la salida de su vuelo 48 con destino final Santiago de Chile, con escalas en Bogotá y Caracas en 30 minutos. Hagan el favor de abordar por la puerta número 16. Buenos días, señores pasajeros. La línea sur anuncia la salida de su vuelo 48 con destino final Santiago de Chile, con escalas en Bogotá y Caracas en 30 minutos. Hagan el favor de abordar por la puerta número 16. Alright, so hopefully you heard or even remembered from this selection what it is that they're talking about. So if you got the gist of what was being said, you would have heard some keywords: vuelo, destino final, la puerta, and so on and so forth. So remember, when you start to get the selections, the longer pieces, you're not listening for word or verbatim what your teacher is saying. You are listening to get the gist of what is being said. So once you can understand, oh yeah, match up the thing, you will be okay in the exam, right? You're not listening for word, you're listening for key information. So number 17 says, ¿Dónde se escucha este anuncio? ¿Dónde se escucha este anuncio? And the questions will be read once. I need to add that. So they're asking you, where would you hear this announcement? ¿En el avión, en la aduana, en la estación, or en el aeropuerto? It can't be on the plane, because they wouldn't be telling you to board at X and X gate, right? It can't be at customs, because customs are when you reach at a place. And en la estación, what station? Is it a bus station? Is it a train station? Wasn't said. So your answer has to be en el aeropuerto, because you would have heard, or you would have heard the word vuelo and they gave the thing. Other keywords like abordar por la puerta número 16, blah blah blah, right? But the main thing was vuelo, flight. Number 18 says, ¿cuál es el destino final? ¿Cuál es el destino final? So what's the final destination for this flight? Chile, Lima, Bogota, or Caracas? If you selected Chile, you are correct. The line says, con destino final, Santiago de Chile. So final destination in Santiago de Chile, con escalas en Bogota y Caracas. You're hearing those two things because they're saying with layovers or stopovers, escalas, that's what that word means. So you have a stopover in Bogota and Caracas before you reach Chile, right? So Chile is the correct answer here. And the last one says, ¿cuándo saldrá el vuelo? ¿Cuándo saldrá el vuelo? When will the flight leave? ¿Cuándo saldrá el vuelo? So it says más tarde, por la noche, en media hora, más temprano. And this is why I say knowing your synonyms or how to say other things is important. They never mentioned any of these words in the selection, but the answer here would be in media hora, in half an hour. But what was said in the selection is en 30 minutos, in 30 minutes, would be equal to en media hora, half an hour's time. Right? So that's it for the first selection. Pretty easy, and you've done it already. Alright, so selection 2. This one is another repeat. So let's go. First time reading. Atención estudiantes, deseamos celebrar el 10º aniversario de nuestra escuela con un desayuno para nuestros exalumnos y profesores. Esta celebración se llevará a cabo el domingo 2 de marzo en la cafetería. Los boletos se pueden obtener en la oficina a partir de hoy hasta el viernes 28 del presente mes. Atención estudiantes, deseamos celebrar el 10º aniversario de nuestra escuela con un desayuno para nuestros exalumnos y profesores. Esta celebración se llevará a cabo el domingo 2 de marzo en la cafetería. Los boletos se pueden obtener en la oficina a partir de hoy hasta el viernes 28 del presente mes. Question number 20. ¿Hace cuántos años comenzó la escuela? So they're asking you here, ¿hace cuántos años comenzó la escuela? How long ago did the school start? Or how many years ago did the school start? It's hace 10 años. So it's been 10 years since the school started. Right? Because they said el 10º aniversario. So they want to celebrate the 10th anniversary. 10th. Décimo. Number 21. ¿Cuándo se celebrará el aniversario? ¿Cuándo se celebrará el aniversario? When will they celebrate the anniversary? When will they be celebrating this anniversary? You would have heard 2 de marzo. If you heard 2 de marzo, you are absolutely correct, right? Why am I circling A and B for confuse the pitney them? Alright, so the answer is A, el 2 de marzo. So the 2nd of March. That's what they said. Number 22. ¿Dónde se pueden conseguir las entradas? ¿Dónde se pueden conseguir las entradas? So where can you get tickets? And for this question, they've synonymed you, right? That's in quotations. Alright, so conseguir is the synonym for obtener, right? And then las entradas is the synonym for los boletos. The entire sentence says los boletos se pueden obtener en la oficina. So tickets, you can get your tickets in the office, en la oficina. Child, what's wrong with me? B is your answer. Alright? So again, it's important for you to know synonyms because sometimes they put those instead of what you would hear in the exam. And that concludes section 3. Now we are on to section 4 where more balling happens in the exam. I'm kidding. You'll be fine. So last year's paper, I remember reading this and it was a new story and a shocker for the students, but they had to listen carefully to what was being read. So I'm going to give you a chance to look at the questions, or let me go through the questions with you for you to listen to what you are about to hear. So when you get to section 4, you're gonna be told to close your booklets and put down your pens. Please abide by CXC's rule. We don't want to hear of anybody being kicked out of exams because you're not following the rules. Alright, so close your booklets, put down your pens, and close your eyes and just listen to what is being read. Block out all visual distractions, as I said before, and try to tune your ears to listen, not for every word, but for the main idea and the gist and keywords being said. Alright, so remember, for this section you have a part A and a part B. Each of those parts have 4 questions in them for you to complete. Now the answers are there on the paper, right? This is it. This is what you need to do for this section. You're not going to see the questions at first, but the minute they allow you to look at the paper, try to look at the questions to see what you need to listen for and look at the responses that are also given. If you do not hear the word in the passage, do not select the answer unless it's a case where a synonym is being used. But if you don't hear the thing, don't select the thing that you did not clearly hear, right? Do not listen for anything outside of what they're asking you for. So you have the 8 questions there. Those are the 8 things you are listening for, right, on the paper, in the exam. All right, so part A, I might do part A and then part B rather than reading it 4 times. And I'll also, let me see if I can bring it across for you to see. I guess we'll see. So part A needs you to answer what woke up the family. So you need to think about you said the word, what's the word to wake up again? To wake up, listen for that. And look at your options: doorbell, telephone, the dog barking, or the alarm clock. So you need to think in your head, wait, do I know this vocabulary? I need to listen for this and nothing else. 24. What was the family going to do? Were they going shopping, going to the park, going on a vacation, or going to visit family? 25 says, what did the family have to rush to do? Bathe, cook and eat, cook, eat and go out, get dressed, eat and go out, bathe, get dressed and pack. And the last one for part A, what did the mother do just before the taxi departed? Put her suitcase in the trunk, say goodbye to the neighbor, check to see if she had all necessary documents, or check to see if she had locked the windows and doors. So again, you're listening for those questions and you're listening to see if you hear any of the choices being said or read by your teacher. All right, so let me read part A and have the questions. Let me get it a little bit smaller so you can see all the questions that you're listening for. So the story is where is it? An unfortunate beginning. El sábado pasado no era un día ordinario en nuestra casa. En vez de desayunar como siempre, todo el mundo salió de la cama a las 5 de la madrugada al son del despertador. Y vamos de vacaciones. Nos apresuramos a bañarnos, vestirnos y hacer las maletas. Salimos de la casa media hora tarde sin desayunar. Cuando el taxi llegó, nos subimos rápidamente. Antes de salir, mamá se aseguró de que tenía los 5 boletos y los pasaportes en su bolsa. All right. So, I mean, that was pretty easy to go through as a reader, but for you, the listener, you're not going to hear and understand everything. So you have to listen for the main idea of what is being said. So let me see if I can pull this over here. I'll show you in a little bit what the passage was. So after how the part 4 goes, I forgot to say this, part 4 of the exam, section 4 of part A rather, you are going to hear the story first. You can't look at the questions. Then you're allowed a few minutes to go through. Then you're told to stop working again and listen for part A. Afterwards, you're given 5 minutes to go through part A and check your answers, and then the same thing is done for part B. Then you'll hear the story once more and you're going to be given 4 minutes to review your answers, double check, etc. Right? So that's how that goes, but I'm just reading part A and part B for you now. Alright, so number 23 says, what woke up the family? What woke up the family? Was it the doorbell, the telephone, a barking dog, or an alarm clock? The sentence again says, todo el mundo salió de la cama a las 5 de la madrugada al son del despertador. So, el despertador would be an alarm clock. So if you heard despertador and selected D, then you are correct. So the family woke up because of an alarm clock. You didn't hear doorbell, el timbre de la puerta. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear teléfono. And you didn't hear un perro que ladra. You didn't hear a barking dog, right? So el despertador. Number 24 asks, what was the family going to do? I said, y vamos de vacaciones. So So they're clearly going on a vacation. So that has to be C. Go on vacation. Number 25. What did the family have to rush to do? What did the family have to rush to do? So it says, nos apresuramos a bañarnos, vestirnos y hacer las maletas. So the verb apresurarse would be to hurry up to do something or to rush to do something, right? So they hurried to bañarnos, to bathe themselves, vestirnos, to get dressed, and hacer las maletas, to pack suitcases or just to pack. So your answer would be D. Bathe, get dressed, and pack. And the last one in this section, and the last one in part A, what did the mother do just before the taxi departed? Let's see what she did. So it's just before the taxi departed. It says, antes de salir. Remember, antes de salir, when you hear antes de, before doing something. So before leaving, antes de salir, mamá se aseguró, mother ensured, asegurarse is to ensure or to ensure of something, asegurarse de que tenía los 5 boletos. She ensured that she had the 5 tickets y los pasaportes en su bolsa, and the passports in her bag. So your answer here has to be C. So check to see if she had all necessary documents. So they didn't put back check if she had the 5 bag and the 5 ticket them. No, they just combined it into necessary documents. So you have to be keen on things like that in the exam. Right, so those are the questions and answers for part A. So I'm gonna read part B for you now, and then go through the questions and the answer. Alright, so you're listening for now these questions in part B. What did the taxi driver say about the highway? There was a detour, there was a traffic jam, there were fallen wires, there were road works. 28. In order to avoid the problem, what did the driver propose? Waiting until things calm down, using another highway, taking another road, or turning back? Again, you have to be thinking about the responses. Do I know this vocabulary? And what you need to be listening for when it's being read. 29. The journey was brought to an abrupt end by an accident, by a loud noise, when the taxi ran out of gas, or when robbers held up those in the taxi. And the last one, number 30. What major setback did the family face? They arrived late, they had to hitchhike, they lost their luggage, or they had to wait on another taxi. Alright, so let's go through the passage for part B now. Alright, so part B. Camino al aeropuerto, el taxista nos dijo que había un embotellamiento en la carretera a causa de un accidente y por esto iba a tomar otro camino. Al principio todo iba muy bien porque el camino estaba tranquilo, sin mucho tráfico. De repente se oyó una explosión y el coche se detuvo. El taxista rápidamente salió, abrió el capó y gritó: ¡Ay de mí! ¡Es el motor! Su vuelo sale en 15 minutos y sin duda ustedes no van a llegar a tiempo. Could I do like a acting in a show? Alright, so let's go back up here now and I'll go line by line for the questions. Alright, so number 27 says, what did the taxi driver say about the highway? It says again, camino al aeropuerto el taxista, lo siento, nos dijo. So on the way, on the route to the airport, the taximan nos dijo, told us that que había un embotellamiento, that there had been a traffic jam. So that big word, embotellamiento, would be traffic jam. And that's a word I know your teachers have taught you. Right? And the word for highway would be carretera. So those two words, you hear them, you would immediately know the answer. So traffic jam on the highway a causa de un accidente, because of an accident. And 28 says, in order to avoid the problem, that problem which is the traffic jam, what did the driver propose? It says, y por esto iba a tomar otro camino. He was going to do what? He was going to take otro camino. He was going to take another route or another way. So it can't be waiting until things know or using another highway. He decided to take another road, basically, right? So C, he took another road. Number 29 says, the journey was brought to an abrupt end. Was it by the accident? No. By a loud noise? When the taxi ran out of gas, or when robbers held up those in the taxi? So what did you hear for this one? If you selected B, by a loud noise, then you are correct. So the journey was brought to a stop or an end, abrupt end rather, because of a loud noise. It says de repente. De repente means suddenly. Suddenly se oyó una explosión. Suddenly we heard, or I heard, an explosion. Or there was an explosion. Suddenly there was an explosion. And the car stopped. Y el coche se detuvo. So that's why they stopped. A loud noise. And the last one, what major setback did the family face? So after the car has stopped, they go on to say, el taxista rápidamente salió. The taxi man quickly got out, abrió el capo, opened the hood, and shouted, ay de mí, por mí, es el motor, it's the engine. Su vuelo sale en 15 minutos. Your flight leaves in 15 minutes. Y sin duda, ustedes no van a llegar a tiempo. And certainly, you're not going to be on time. So number 30 would be that they are going to arrive late. So it's not that they hitchhiked, lost their luggage, or waited on another taxi. They would have to be or they would have to arrive late. So the answer is A. Alright, so let me bring this over here, so in case you want to screenshot the video, you're able to see what the text is and look at the vocabulary used for the text. Alright, so here it is. An unfortunate beginning. You can pause the video to take a snapshot or a screenshot of the passage. Alright, and that's it for part A, which is the listening comprehension. Alright, so after you have done your listening part, your teacher leaves you and then you're on your own for numbers 31 to 60. And again, most of these are repeated. And even though they're repeated, as I keep saying, you never know when a synonym or two might be added, but it's good for you to know the vocabulary. See how much time I stress that? Be very prepared. Alright, so let's go through these quickly. A causa del mal tiempo voy a llevar mi paraguas. So because of the bad weather, I'm going to carry my umbrella. Number 32, lo siento, el taxi está blank blank, no cabe más gente. So I'm sorry, the taxi is lleno. The taxi is full. It can't take any more persons. Number 33, según blank blank, yo agrego una cucharadita de sal al plato. So according to number 33, la receta. So according to the recipe, I'm adding a teaspoon of salt to the dish. Number 34, cuando sonó blank blank, Isabel corrió a contestarlo. So when the bell rang, sorry, not the bell, when the telephone rang, Isabel corría a contestarlo. So it has to be telephone because it's the verb contestar, to answer it, el teléfono. Let's go down. Number 35. Number 35, el camarero me sirvió con tanta cortesía que le di una buena. Number 35 has to be C, propina. You're giving him a good tip. Number 36, señor, usted maneja demasiado rápido. Por favor, puede conducir. How does the person want the driver to drive? They want them to be 36B, más despacio. So they want them to drive slower or slowly, a little bit slower. Number 37, Antonio se ha dormido porque la película es muy aburrida. So Antonio has fallen asleep because the movie is very boring. Number 38, al regresar del médico con su hijo enfermo, Doña Carlota fue a la farmacia con la receta. Right, so la receta means also prescription. So upon returning to the doctor with her son, Doña Carlota went to the pharmacy with the prescription. And that's it for part A, which is usually like a little grammar roundup of things that you should know. Number or section B, this is a fill in the blank. I think you usually get 2 of these in the exam. So this one is called the busy boyfriend. Hola Raúl, ¿no vas al concierto esta noche? Hey Raúl, you're not going to the concert tonight, esta noche? Desafortunadamente, unfortunately, no. Mi novia y yo nos, where's the answer? Down there at the bottom. Mi novia y yo nos disgustamos. So we have a little disagreement now. Así que me quedaré en casa. So I'll be staying at home. Yo tenía que ir a su casa para ayudar. I'm reading like I'm counting. Yo tenía que ir a su casa para ayudarle con su tarea. So I had to go to her house to help her with her homework or chore que debía entregar, that she had to hand in esta semana, this week, pero lo olvidé porque he estado ocupado con mi primo que vino, that came de los Estados Unidos, that came from the United States. Por esto no tuve la, what are you putting? No tuve la oportunidad. If you put that, that was correct. De decírselo a ella. So he didn't have the opportunity to tell the girlfriend that. And those are the answers. This one, I think the last time this was used was on that 2014 paper. I'm not sure, but might be. So yeah, that was featured last year. This one now, un regalo para Isabel. So a gift for Isabel. Alright, let's see now. Alright, so el novio de Isabel decidió. So Isabel's boyfriend decided to comprarle, buy her. So it has to be le indirect object pronoun. They're talking about Isabel. So decided to buy her un regalo para el día de San Valentín. A gift for Valentine's Day. Entró en, no question, entrar en un almacén donde, so he entered into a store donde vio, where he saw el perfume que Isabel quería, where he saw the perfume that Isabel wanted. Cuando blank blank el precio se dio cuenta de que, so when he pidió, when he asked for the price, se dio cuenta de que, he realized that he did not have enough money or did not have sufficient money. So 51 tenía, he did not have enough money. Muy desilusionado, very disappointed. Number 52, blank, muy triste de la tienda. So he salió, he left. Can't be the others. He left, very sad, from the store. Blank, una tarjeta nada más. It's not without. He left with una tarjeta. So he left with a card and nothing more, nada más, or nothing else. And that's it. Numbers 54 to 56 shows you like a little menu. This one is repeated, Café Placer, and these are the items on the menu at this cafe. So lista de precios, and you have the bebidas, the drinks, café, cacao, té, jugo, agua mineral, and these are their prices. You have bocadillos de jamón, bocadillos de queso, de salchicha, de mermelada. And then they give you some information at the bottom down here. So you have desayuno desde 5 hasta 9, almuerzo desde 11 hasta 2. Los fines de semana no se sirve desayuno, and they are cerrado los días feriados. Alright, so let's see what they're asking now for these items. So question 54 says, ¿cuál es la bebida más costosa? So bebidas means drink. So what are the más costosa? That's another word for caro, expensive. So what are the most expensive drinks on Café Placer's list here? It has to be cacao, because cacao is for $50, child. So cacao is A. And then 55, they're asking, se ofrece en el menú para los que no comen carne sandwiches de, let me go down so you can see the options. Alright, so they offer things on the menu for persons who don't eat meat, sandwiches like for pavo, jamon, salchicha, or mermelada. Which one are you choosing? Number 55, you would have to choose mermelada, right? Pavo would be what? Your turkey. Jamon, ham, and salchicha is sausage. So the correct answer here would have to be mermelada, which is jam. Alright, so let's circle D, jam. Number 56, ¿cuándo se sirve el almuerzo? I think this question was a new one and I don't recall seeing this. I think they changed this question. I'm not sure. I'd have to look again on the previous papers. I think they did. Number 56, ¿cuándo se sirve el almuerzo? When do they serve lunch? So it's right here. They serve lunch. What is that? They serve lunch desde 11 hasta 12. So they haven't put the time again. They've given you some time phrases. So todos los días, los domingos, los días laborables, or los fines de semana. So if you chose A for 56, when do they serve lunch? 56 is A. So todos los días, they serve lunch every day. Right? So it's not just Sundays or and weekends or any of the other options. Weekdays, los días laborales or weekdays, or weekends. It has to be every day. So let's go down to the last bit. This one is also repeated, and I think I did this one on my Instagram page as well. Follow us on Language Hub on Instagram and Facebook for, past paper reviews on our stories and all of those good things. Share with a friend, like, and comment if you like these videos and would like to see more. So onwards, number 56 to 57 to 60. So this is a short read for you to answer the last items. Una anciana perdió los lentes y no podía hallarlos aunque los había buscado por todas partes. En vista de eso, fue a comprar otros. El dependiente le enseñó muchos modelos, pero a la anciana no le gustó ninguno. Entonces, le trajo otro par. ¿No le gustan estos?, preguntó. Son de la mejor calidad y muy fuertes. Me quedan bien. Sí, me gustan mucho, pero ¿cuánto cuestan? 2,000 pesos. ¿No tiene usted otros más baratos? No, señora. Estos son los más baratos. Entonces los voy a comprar. I think this one is pretty easy to understand and follow. Alright, so some of the words used here, the synonyms were used in the questions. So let's see what they are. So, ¿qué perdió la anciana? What did an anciana means? An old woman or old lady. So what did the old lady lose? Su traje, la vista, sus billetes, sus anteojos. If you chose anteojos, you are correct. Up here it says los lentes. Perdió los lentes. Those are glasses. Another way to say that would be anteojos. Right? Number 58. La anciana fue a comprar nuevos lentes. Lo siento, ¿por qué no? What did she not want to do? She did not want to quería lentes de moda. She didn't want fashionable glasses. Podía ver con los viejos. To be seen as, old. Podía encontrarlos viejos, or le quedaban bien los viejos. So number 58 has to be C. She couldn't find the old ones. So she couldn't find the old ones. And B, what did I say here? She couldn't see with the old ones, so B, but the answer is C. She couldn't, or she could not find, encontrar the old ones, which are the glasses. And D, le quedaban bien los viejos means they didn't fit her well. The old ones didn't fit her well. So that's not the answer. Right? Let's go up here to find that answer. Up here it says no podía hallarlo. She could not find them. So another word to find would be hallar. So hallar, encontrar, synonyms. Alright, 59. ¿Cómo le parecieron los últimos lentes que le mostró el dependiente? So it says, no le gustaron mucho, le parecieron baratos, no le parecieron bonitos. 59 has to be B. Le gustaron mucho. She liked them a lot. Right? She says, me quedan bien, they fit me well. Sí, me gustan mucho, I like them a lot. Alright, number 59. ¿Qué decidió hacer la mujer finalmente? So what did she decide to do in the end or finally? Ir a buscar otros. Go to search for others. Comprar otro par, buy another pair. Ir a ver a su médico, go to see her doctor. Comprar el último par, buy the last pair. So she decided to comprar el último par. She bought the last pair. Right? Where do you get that answer? She says right here, entonces los voy a comprar. So they didn't have, and remember they didn't have any others, right? So she decided to buy those. Alright, and that's it for part B of the 2022 June exam. Alright, so it was pretty easy to get through. I hope this was helpful to you and at least, calm down the nerves and puts you at ease. Remember in your exam to just follow the instructions, listen carefully, block all visual distractions, and you will be fine because you have practiced and you are ready and rearing to go. So leave a comment, share the video, and I'll try to see if I can get 2020 and 2021's paper up for you to also review. Bueno, hasta luego y buena suerte a ustedes. Nos vemos en el otro video. Adiós.